Hi, I'm Wesley Ferreira, clarinet professor at Colorado State University. And today I'm going to discuss how to prepare this year's Colorado All-State Band and Orchestra audition. In this video, Rose's Etude No. 2 will be our focus. When preparing for an audition, it's important to try and determine what the particular music selection chosen is meant to highlight. Rose's Etude No. 2 is marked Allegro, meaning that it should be performed quickly and with great energy. Coupled with the suggested tempo marking of dotted quarter equals 63 for your all-state audition, it is clear that this etude is meant to display more of your technical proficiency. And I believe that those of you who are able to perform the etude with great tone and clear and fluid sounding technique will be the ones to advance. As with all technical etudes, if you begin preparing early, you will be able to master many of the challenges contained within it. And as with all of your clarinet playing, using good practice techniques will be the key to learning this etude properly and doing your best come audition day. Let's go over some important and basic concepts to keep in mind when preparing this etude. I suggest that you first learn this etude by playing it all slurred. Practice with a metronome, slowly ticking off eighth notes. While practicing all slurred and slowly, you need to make sure that you're always playing the correct notes and that you're always connecting these notes to create a longer line. Listen to your tone. It's at this early stage of your practicing where you need to reinforce great tone, great breath support, free from tension. When you begin to consistently perform all the notes and rhythms accurately and evenly, you can bump up the tempo on the metronome by a few clicks. They'll only increase your tempo to a level that's manageable and that allows you to continue to play well. Be patient with your progress. Record yourself every day and let your own ears be your guide as to whether you are ready to move to a faster tempo, a faster click of the metronome. Be conscious of your finger movements too when playing. Ideal finger movement for playing the clarinet is for your fingers to be relaxed, and when they're relaxed, they curve naturally. Lift all of your fingers from the back knuckle and be sure to stay close to your keys, and don't lift too high. While in this early phase of practicing, be sure to use appropriate fingerings as well. Avoid sliding between keys on the clarinet. This means that in measures 12 and 17, you should play the third space C on the left side. When you begin to reach the point in your practice preparation where you are consistently playing all the notes and rhythms accurately while still playing all slurred, you can now add in the articulation markings. When adding the articulation markings, be sure to continue to play with great tone. Stay relaxed in your finger movements. Differentiate between the notes that are marked staccato from those that are not. For example, be careful not to clip the last note of each slurred pattern. There's no staccato markings on these. Be sure that you're using air to blow through the articulation notes. Using good breath support will make a huge difference in whether the technical passages feel easy, whether they sound easy, from having it sound difficult to play. Now, there are no dynamics written into this piece. My recommendation is to take the Allegro marking, meaning quick and lively, and use it to our advantage by playing with presence and a full tone. Mezzo forte to forte is appropriate, and this will allow you to play with good breath support more easily. The Allegro marking should also inform your interpretation of this etude. To me, this etude sounds best when it's flowing and almost dance-like. To achieve this, it must sound easy to play. As discussed earlier, notes need to sound connected one to another to form a longer line. Your tone should sound present and supported, but not tense or agitated. This will be especially challenging for some of you towards the end of the etude as the line ascends into the altissimo. For many of you, your instinct will be to back off your air and tense up while playing in the altissimo. The truth is, you need to do the exact opposite. When playing into the altissimo, you need to use more air and relax rather than tense. I promise, it always sounds so much better. Many of you may not be used to it, but anyone listening to your audition will enjoy hearing that full tone and presence going to the altissimo of the clarinet. It sounds way better than playing small, tense, and puny. No doubt, one of the big challenges of playing this etude is the length of time between natural breathing spots. For context, you should know that these Rose etudes are based upon oboe etudes by Franz Ferling, And due to the nature of oboe playing, they can generally play for a longer period of time compared to clarinetists, so don't feel bad. In this etude, you should naturally breathe during the 2 eighth rests that are marked. Other breathing spots will be necessary too, to allow you to play with ease and to use the great tone that I spoke about earlier. You'll notice in my upcoming performance that I have chosen to demonstrate breathing spots in measures 11, 28, 39, and 45. You can use this as a guide. The key is to make all of your added breathing spots sound musical. As wind players, we use our air to shape lines, and as musicians, we can use time. We can shift tempo slightly. This is called rubato. Decide where you're going to breathe very early on in your preparation process, and practice breathing in these spots every time, so that as you increase your tempo on the metronome, adding in the written articulations, and finally, playing without the metronome, you have practiced breathing in those same spots all along the way. One final note about how to practice the trill in measure 32. I suggest using the side trill key, second from the top, to play the A. Practice the trill systematically and decide early on whether you want to trill once or twice. So here's a demonstration. G to A, playing A with the side trill key. There's one trill. Now if we add in the grace notes, faster, there's one trill. Here's what 2 trills might sound like. With the added grace notes. Now it doesn't sound great at the slow tempo, but as we're playing quickly, and eventually you're increasing your tempo to play faster. The key is not to leave it to chance. Decide how many trills you want to play and practice it that way consistently. It's been a pleasure sharing my thoughts on this etude. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comment sections below or contact me via email. Also, please feel free to email sound or video files if you'd like me to review them and offer suggestions. I hope to see many of you at the All-State Band and Orchestra weekends this year, and even at the various honor bands in our state that use this same etude. Good luck with your auditions.